Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the lunchroom. It's your host, Chris, and NBA is finally back. The NBA season kicked off yesterday. Yep, yesterday. It's being recorded on a Wednesday. NBA season is back. We're gonna get into these games in just a second, but some news. So, recently, the first piece of podcast merch has come in, it's sitting right here on this desk. We I have a mouse pad with the logo on it. Lunchroom mouse pad. This is not for sale, but it will be a nice piece of decoration around the studio, as you can see. I don't have my logo anywhere, so to get something that has my logo on it, it's a step, and I think it's really cool, and I'm really loving it. So you'll maybe see that in videos if you're an audio listener. Sorry, but the second thing. So about 2 weeks ago, we talked about LeBron's Hennessy commercial, which he used to troll people to thinking he was retiring. Well, to celebrate the NBA season being back, I went out and I purchased the new VSOP LeBron Hennessy. This is not a sponsorship at all. My page is nowhere near big enough for that. I purchased this out of my own pocket. So, and yeah, this box is completely unopened. So, you know what? To celebrate the season being back, we are going to take a shot of this. I'm not even a big Hennessy drinker, but wow, look at how pretty this bottle is. See, this is something fit for a king right here. As you can see, the old LeBron Hennessy. Yeah, again, if you're an audio listener, I'm so sorry, but yeah, as you can see, the old LeBron bottle already sitting on the desk right here. We got the new one. Looks pretty cool. Apparently, when I purchased this, the guys at the liquor store said it was a way higher quality of Henny. Again, I don't really drink this stuff too often, so I mean, I'm not gonna be able to tell the difference. But yeah, let's get this open and let's take a shot to welcome in the new season. Oh, yeah, I heard that. Wait, hold on. We gotta do that again. Gotta get this closer to the mic. Oh, now that sounds nice. That sounds nice. Jesus Christ. Alrighty. Things I do for this. Take a shot of this. Oh, I'm gonna hate myself after this. I do like how that bottle sounds, though. Jesus, man. I don't condone drinking. Even though, here we are. To the new season. You know, honestly, I'm gonna say that's not bad. That's actually not bad. I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, I tried this one when it came out. That's way better. That's way better. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll put the bottle back in here, and I guess we'll keep this on display. This will be the second LeBron bottle that we have now on the show. But yeah, that's fun. All right, now to actually get into the games that happened on Tuesday night. First game of the season was Thunder playing the Houston Rockets. We get Kevin Durant's 90th return to Houston. Funny enough, I actually saw during the pregame when they were announcing the players. Kevin Durant, obviously he's playing on the Rockets. He's actually playing once again with words Steve Adams. So it was really funny seeing Steve Adams absolutely get like applause upon him getting announced, but yeah, like him and Kevin Durant got announced back to back, and Durant when he got announced got absolutely showered with boos. It's just a thing. He's honestly used to it at this point. Like again, the way you left that city, yeah, those fans are never gonna forgive it. But yeah, this was an insane game. Chet Holmgren got out to a heck of a start. The Thunder here playing with no J-Dub. The other Jalen Williams was playing, and he had himself a pretty average night. 2 points. 2 more points than I had. But Chet Holmgren went absolutely insane. He had about 15 to start the game. He finished the game with 28 points. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander getting it done for the Thunder. This game, if you guys didn't catch this live, this game went into double overtime. Double overtime. This game, Thunder ended up winning by a single point, 125 to 124. Again, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander coming in really clutch. He honestly started off the game really slowly. Didn't really get going until basically the fourth quarter. Had 12 points in that quarter to help send the Thunder to the first overtime. Finished the game with 35 as SGA does. Um, Big surprise, honestly, in this game for me was Sengun. Sengun had a monster first performance, completely outshadowing Kevin Durant's first game as a Houston Rocket. Durant finished with 23 points, 9 boards, 3 assists. Ended up fouling out of this game in the second overtime, which, I mean, happens when you play 47 minutes, but yeah, Sengun, 39 points and had 39 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Like, had some very big shots down the stretch of this game. Had a very big shot at the end of had a shot at the end of regulation to tie it. Had a very big layup at the end of the towards the end of the first overtime. But yeah, no, I mean, the Rockets looked very good for, again, a Thunder team that basically is running back the exact same roster for the most part. Again, no J-Dub in this game, but the Rockets looked pretty good, and this is exactly what you want to see out of a team that makes a big trade like this, especially for a superstar like Durant. Obviously missed him a lot towards the end. Durant's been known as the guy to take the last shot. He's Mr. Clutch. But he fouls out towards the end of this game, bound like back-to-back plays. Gets called for the foul. And Jabari Smith Jr., who did have a good game in himself, had 16 points. Ends up having to be the one in the corner to take the last shot, and obviously it wasn't good. Very back and forth contest. Thompson looked pretty good, 18 points from him. This Rockets team is very big. They have the Kevin Durant to start the game was listed as their shooting guard. And Durant, mind you, is like 6'10", 6'11". Most of their starting lineup outside of Amen Thompson is all 6'10" and up. Like, they're playing a pretty big lineup, and they can move up and down the floor. Like, again, one of the big contributors to their success last year was their defense. And, we're seeing a lot of the same type of things. And with, like, a lineup like that where you have very big players and you can, what's it called? Switch a lot. Like, it's going to be very useful to the defense. Even like Durant at like his tender age of 37, can still be, he's not a great defender, but he can be a presence. He's not going to be a pine cone out there. So like, great game from them. They're definitely going to, again, this is the first game of the season, so very excited to see what they do. Obviously, the Oklahoma City Thunder start their chase for a second straight title with a win at home, so that's got to be really good after getting their rings. By the way, those Oklahoma City rings are probably the best ones that I've seen from the NBA in recent memory. I mean, the Celtics, I feel like, don't really have great ones. The Nuggets one 2 years ago was pretty good, but yeah, no, the Thunder's new rings. I don't know if any of you have really gotten a close look at it. They should be posted on Bleacher Report or ESPN at some point. At this point, but yeah, they look really good. On to this Lakers-Warriors games. I didn't even start watching this game until probably halfway through the second quarter because, again, the first one went into double overtime. But yeah, this game. All right, we're back. Experienced some technical difficulties there, but nevertheless, the Warriors play the Lakers at home and end up taking the win, 119 to 109. Again, Jimmy Butler's first full season as a Golden State Warrior, and he came and showed out. 31 points for him. 23 for Steph. Draymond, so I mean, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. That's what he does. Jonathan Kuminga, the guy who they would not sign for the longest in the offseason with all that drama. 23 points for him. Got 17 from Buddy Hield off the bench, which, I mean, normal Buddy Hield stuff. I mean, he's going to be good but pretty regularly. But yeah, the Lakers playing this game without LeBron. He's going to miss about the first month of the season. He's not expected to play till November. But it's fine. The real star of this game though for the Lakers, Luka Doncic. Man, he had a monster game. 43 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists in this opener. Only had 3 turnovers, 2 steals and a block to go along with that. Man, it seems like he was already kind of carrying the Mavericks team. I mean, towards the end of his Mavericks tenure, they did manage to get him some good pieces around him. Obviously, they made a finals run with that roster before, he unfortunately was traded in one of the most random moves in NBA history. But yeah, he's going right back to doing what he did in Dallas, man. 43 points. So again, this is insane. His first full season in LA. Austin Reeves chipped in 26 of his own. And yeah, they did not get the greatest production from some of their other pieces. DeAndre Ayton had 10.6 6 boards. Rui had 9. Yeah, this team is still definitely missing some pieces. Yeah, they're gonna have to get some better bigs for Doncic in this game. Also, can we talk about 1 second DeAndre Ayton's hair? Who went and told that man to go blonde? Because that looks terrible. No, it's not even a blonde. It's like the orange type of hair that like Odell had, back in the day, that, like every single middle schooler used to get, like in the middle of their head, like as a mohawk. But he just has a full head of hair. He looks dumb as hell. I'm just saying. No, he looks terrible. And you know what? The Lakers look terrible. The Warriors put the lay down on them. Obviously, this Warriors team was a team that could have made the conference final. They both played the Timberwolves last year in the playoffs. The Lakers obviously going on round 1, but if you're the Lakers, obviously Luka played great. Reeves chipped in a good amount. You hope to see more from the defense going forward. You hope that maybe some of the bench guys can do some stuff. I mean, Marcus Smart was some off the bench, providing some defense there. 9 points for him. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a good first night for the association, and that's mostly carried off of the backs of Doncic as by himself, and then the Thunder and Rockets having a great game. But yeah, the NBA, we got a good slate of games coming tonight, including yours truly, my New York Knicks. We start our NBA championship campaign for against the Cleveland Cavaliers at 7:00 tonight. Which, funny enough, those are the if you guys remember back to episode 1, those are the 2 teams that me and Mark thought would be standing top of the Eastern Conference. So that's going to be a very good test for us. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, no Cat tonight, no Josh Hart, no D Mitch. So half the starters are gone. So that's going to be fun. But you know what? The captain's playing. Number 11, Jalen Brunson, our Lord and Savior. He's got us. So that's going to be great to see. Very excited to watch that. I definitely will have that game on and we'll be watching it. No matter what. So that's gonna be great. Have more to say about that next week when the game actually happens. But yeah, with that, no parlay of the week this week, and that's because people have been struggling. These parlays have not been easy to hit. It's been pretty bad. It's been pretty bad. I personally have not hit one since week 1, and I didn't even bother placing one this week because you know what? Sometimes we're tired of losing money. Maybe I should start a Patreon. You know what? Maybe I should maybe I should have you guys submit parlays to me because I don't know what I'm doing, but it's definitely not working. But yeah, moving on. NFL Week 7. Very, very interesting week. The game of the week, in my personal opinion, Giants Broncos. As much as listen, put the pitchforks and torches down. As much as this game sucked to watch as a Giants fan, I mean, it didn't suck through the first 3 quarters. Let me be clear. This game really took a nosedive in the fourth. What happened? What happened? What happened? I'll tell you what happened. We started missing kicks, and the defense was doo-doo. Jackson Dart did Jackson Dart things. Cam Scatterboo was looked pretty solid. You know, they had a pretty good outing. Obviously Dart with the last touchdown for New York. Towards the end, as Denver decided to start, you know, coming back. Huge game for Bo Nix, by the way. Like, absolutely insane, especially like fantasy-wise. 279 through the air. 2 passing touchdowns for him. Like, he was insane. If you had Bo Nix on fantasy football, you are a very happy man. But you probably aren't very happy because he's probably sitting on your bench because he's been pretty bad all year. But yeah, no, 40 points from him is ridiculous. Jackson Dart, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, only the 1 interception. I mean, listen, he's a rook. What are you going to do? Cam Scatterboo, 60 yards, 16 carries. No, he's looking good. Tyron Tracy starting to get back into it again, 46 yards for him on 9 attempts. So, yeah, I mean, we really need some receivers. But man, this team is missing Malik Neighbors. I genuinely believe with Malik Neighbors on this roster that we could legitimately. Okay, well, we kind of are 2-5, but I feel like with Neighbors on this team right now, this like that core of 3, that I mean this team maybe could push for a wild card spot. Call me a delusional fan, but yeah, no, that's exactly what I am. But yeah, absolute meltdown in that fourth quarter. Like, New York had scored 7, 6, and 6 in the first 3, and all 33 of the Denver Broncos points came in this third quarter. Why? I need to understand. Who is the kicker on this team, man? Let me find his name real quick because this is ridiculous. All right, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this, but yeah, get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. Apply to McDonald's because you're done. You're done. Missed 2 important kicks that could have won us this game, including one at the end that, if we make on that last Dart touchdown, all we had to do is make the extra point, right? You make that extra point, and you know now you're looking at, all right, the Broncos now can go down the field to kick and tie. Okay, not terrible. It's not great, but it's not horrible either. But no, instead of that, we missed the kick, and now with about a minute and some change left, now the Denver offense has a chance to go down and kick a field goal for the win. And of course, the New York special teams aren't anything good, so they end up going down the field pretty easily and kicking this one for the win. Yeah, absolutely brutal loss. You know, Dart had it all over his face, you know, and there's nothing the boy can do because you know what? He did his job. The defense and the special teams, in fact, did not. So, that was rough. But I just want to say, as bad as this team might be, especially record-wise, you know, 2-5, New York has had some pretty good games this season. Like, week 2 against the Cowboys, I said was probably game of that week. You know, obviously this past week, last week against the Eagles, was really good. So, you know, for as much as this team may stink when it comes to the record, they are fun to watch. And, you know, they go out there and compete, man. Like, and who knew? All we had to do was start the fun rookie and bench the old man. You know, I feel like a lot of people think that they can be GMs, and this is the reason why. Because I feel like some of this stuff isn't rocket science, and yet some teams are still terrible. Just like the Miami Dolphins. I don't understand. How is Tua still the starting quarterback? How does anyone in that organization have a job? They're awful. They're absolutely awful. I'm getting ahead of myself, man. What am I doing? I'm not even a fan, man. Shout out Matthew Meenan, man. I honestly feel your pain. Um, but all right, moving on to fantasy flames and flops. The first one, CeeDee Lamb is back. He's finally back. He's healthy, and he hooped 22 fantasy points in his first game back. I am convinced that this man would have been a top 3 receiver on the season if he had been healthy, man. That's all I'm saying. I personally drafted CeeDee Lamb over Justin Jefferson, over Puka Nacua, over JSN because I believed in him, and I knew Dak being back he was gonna have a year. And you know what? We got robbed of that for like 3-4 weeks because he was amazing. 5 receptions for 110 yards and a touchdown, and that was all in the first half. If you actually watch this game, you could be mistaken for thinking he didn't play the second half entirely, which, I mean, the game was a blowout. They handled the Commanders pretty comfortably. But man, I mean, he looked amazing. Again, all of that was mostly that was all his first half stats. So, I mean, yeah, he's incredible. Christian freaking McCaffrey, man. I was a CMC doubter because the man just can't stay healthy. But you know what? It's like we said last week and the week before that. He must got some he must have some dark magic going on to affect the rest of the roster so that he's healthy because he's been hooping. He's been incredible. 129 yards rushing and 7 for 72 receiving and 2 rushing touchdowns. The man had damn near 40 fantasy points. 39.1 was the final total, but still, CMC managers, man, like he's not even known for these like he doesn't even have like big games like this usually. He's like usually a solid 20 points in fantasy football every week guaranteed, and that's usually what you want. His floor, I think the lowest point total for him on the season has been like 23. But yeah, he's been dominant. Anyone who actually took the gamble on him, congratulations. I mean, man, you got like one of the best running backs in fantasy football. And honestly, if you're a fantasy football player this year, which I mean most people are, yeah, good fantasy options are hard to come by. Trey McBride, 29.4 points. He had his best game of the year. 10 for 74 and 2 touchdowns for him. I'm so upset that the Cardinals are on bye this week because now I don't know who I'm starting. I really don't. Did not get anyone good off the waivers. But yeah, no, he's insane. McBride obviously he's a top 2 tight end. Only behind Jake Ferguson because the Cowboys offense is absolutely cracked. Duds of the week. This one hurts a little bit. Saquon Barkley. This is his second straight week with under 10 fantasy points. He had 44 yards total, 5.2 points on fantasy football. Honestly, Saquon, in my personal opinion, is looking like the bust of the year when it comes to fantasy. And like, okay, if you look at like his averages, he's not doing terribly. But for where you drafted Saquon, like he has been god awful. It's between him and AJ Brown. But AJ Brown saved himself because he actually had a good week. But yeah, no, this Eagles run is not looking the way it did last year. And it's very hard to repeat a 2,000-yard rushing season. But, for a team that supposedly is very run-heavy like, Philadelphia is, like, it's insane, the fact that he's just been so ineffective for fantasy. And, it's like the Madden curse is really, like, it's a thing. It has to be. He was the RB1 last year, very hard to repeat, doing that. So, I mean, yeah, if you're like, again, he was going top 5, sometimes top 3, for in most leagues. So that's insane. Jalen Waddle. Yeah, the Dolphins suck. The Dolphins just suck. Waddle had 2.5 fantasy points. I played the Cleveland Browns DST in one league and got 24 points out of them because Tua just keeps throwing. How is he still a starting quarterback? How does anyone on this team have their jobs? They are terrible. I mean, Like it's like the meme with the dog sitting at the table and the room's just on fire and he's just smiling like everything's okay. That is the Miami Dolphins organization right now. They are absolutely awful. Like how does this happen? How does this and like this team didn't even look that bad not too long ago. Is the thing. How do you get pieced up 31-6 by the Cleveland Browns? The Browns suck. Now, granted, Quinshon Judkins did run in for 3 touchdowns, but oh my goodness. They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. Maybe not as bad as the Jets. I'm sorry to any Jets fans out there, but yeah, your team also sucks. I did, I did see a clip of a kid getting interviewed outside the stadium after the game. And look and blatantly said that he hated this team and that he didn't ask for this. He was just born into it. And you know what? Fair. He said he wasn't gonna switch up though because to be a fan of a team means a lot of pain because most organizations are not at very good levels of quality throughout their run. But yeah, last dud for this week that I have, Brian Thomas Jr. has returned to being garbage. 6.1 fantasy points, 3 for 31. Yeah, it's like somebody needs to get him like the chalk that people use at the gym, when they're lifting, because he can't hold on to the goddamn football. like what are some of these drops? It's like almost he's scared to catch them. But him and Trevor Lawrence, I feel like just have not connected at all this year. I saw so many people saying that he was back and that he was going to be great rest of the season after he actually had a good game last week. And yeah, no, he's been awful. He's awful. It sucks too because most people had probably drafted him, second, third round, like that was your pick. So he's probably sitting on your team as your wide receiver 1 or 2, and he's just awful. Like I feel like you can't even trade him. Like that's what sucks the most playing fantasy football is when you drafted a player in like a top with a top one of the top 3 rounds and it just end up being so bad that you can't even sell them for anything. Like that's what really because what are you gonna do? You're gonna drop somebody you took in your 3rd round? You're gonna drop your 2nd round pick? Like no, you can't do that. So you feel obligated to keep them on the roster, but then they just take up space being terrible. Like it's like you kind of have to play him, but at the same time, it's like all the people that benched AJ Brown. Like you got 28 points sitting on your bench. It feels awful, but sometimes things need to be done. Um, but yeah, getting on to this playoff picture. Yeah, so the Indianapolis Colts are still sitting top of the AFC. They're somehow 6-1. How are they doing this? How are those? New England is second in this in the conference. What is going on? The Bills are coming back from bye this week, and then you know what? They get an easy matchup. They get the Jets. You know what? If the Buffalo Bills lose to the Jets this week, who are dead last because they have no wins, then you might just have to nuke the season because you can't. But no, the Bills should get back on pace this week. With New York. What a great matchup after the bye. The Chargers are still looking pretty good. The Broncos are sitting up top of the AFC West. I will say though, I would be careful. Those Kansas City Chiefs are looking real hot right now. They're 4-3. They're only 1 game behind Denver right now, and they just got a little man named Rashid Rice back. So Rice is gonna be back for this roster. And, he looked fantastic. 2 touchdowns in his first game back. So, this Chiefs team is heating up a bit. And Patrick Mahomes is playing at an MVP level. According to, the media surrounding, he's right now the front runner for MVP. Which I think should be Baker Mayfield, which isn't supported by the fact that the Bucs absolutely looked awful. Baker looked awful himself. But... yeah, Baker Mayfield just overthrowing passes. Like, what are we doing? There were a couple of he makes the right read. He gets, he has good pocket awareness. He can, find some room. Like he makes the right call. He makes the right plays, but just overthrowing this week. So, it's fine. The Mike Evans, going down really sucks. Hey, if you're an Mbuka fantasy owner like I am, Mike Evans being out means that he's gonna be the wide receiver one rest of the season. And he had a slower game, obviously, with some of the overthrown passes, but honestly, he looked pretty good for being somebody who was a game time decision with the hamstring. So he's looking pretty solid. Getting to the NFC, the Packers right now are somehow sitting atop this division with the tie. What are we doing? Well, they technically only have one loss on the year. So the San Francisco 49ers are somehow 5-2. That's because McCaffrey's playing out of his mind. The Philadelphia Eagles, are sitting at 5-2. The Bucks have now dropped to 5-2. They were atop of the NFC last week. They were 5-1. Honestly, this conference is a lot more up for grabs. I think, there are a lot of good teams. Look at every single playoff team right now in the NFC is currently 5-2. They all are. Every single one of them. From the Packers, the Niners, the Eagles, the Bucks, Lions, Seahawks, Rams. Honestly, I couldn't see any one of those 7 teams winning this conference. As crazy as that sounds, yes, the Seattle Seahawks might have a chance. JSN is playing amazing. What can I say? Sam Darnold just might be him. But man, even the Bears are starting to heat up a little bit. Somehow the Carolina Panthers have 4 wins through 7 weeks. What is going on? The New Orleans Saints are as horrible as they always are. So are the Cardinals. And the Giants are down there. The Commanders, man. The Commanders are 3-4 right now, and they just lost. Jaden Daniels is going to be out for, I think they said a couple of weeks. That news just coming in from Washington. So, they have a really big shot to miss the playoffs. Obviously, he's already missed time. And, that's gonna suck. He's definitely gonna miss at least next week. So yeah, that's really upsetting to see, especially because how they played last year, how he played last year. Making the NFC Championship game as a rookie. It sucks because you want to see these players healthy and you want to see them, go out there and compete. But at the same time, that is the game that we play. It's the sport we got. It's just gonna happen. Injuries are a part of it. And there's not much to be done about it, but yeah, that's the lookout right now for the NFL. And that's good. That's gonna do it for us today. If you enjoyed the podcast, be sure to subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give it a share, tell your friends, And you know what? Even if you want to be on the show and, want to be a guest on here and, blab with me for a half hour about, sports, whether you know anything or not, hey, feel free to shoot the Instagram a DM and, maybe we could get some of you guys on here. But, yeah, make sure to follow the Instagram and the TikTok at the Lunchroom 22 again. I want to start using those a lot more than just posting clips of the show. I want to start being more interactive on there and posting some other content. And for me to do that, I need some followers on there, So if you guys get that follower count up, I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, if you've listened this far, again, you are very appreciated. Again, hard to listen to me talk for a while. That's why I try to keep these episodes within a half hour. So yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.